So you mentioned about sponsorships during that discussion.
Yeah.
You don't have any sponsorships.
No, I used to
totally
yeah,
free.
Yeah, I used to do the sponsorship thing. I went to Europe for a month. Met a lot of my favorite tattooers. Was exposed to a lot of environments that were super conducive to my outlook on tattooing now. Amongst tattooers that I've revered my entire career. Legendary guys. They're not shouting out a billion products every day. They're not doing that, and that's such a huge thing in Europe right now. It's a huge thing here. Sponsorships, I firmly believe. When I came back, I let everybody know what was going on. I sent all my machines back to FK Irons. I had contacted who I could over at Eternal and said, look, I'm going to start paying for my stuff, and I don't want to be sponsored anymore. I still use a lot of the products that I was.
They're great products.
They're great. I just felt the need that I'm no different than anybody else that's tattooing in the world as far as like having to pay for my supplies. I will support the companies of my friends. I have friends that are machine builders. I support them. They're my friends. They're people that our kids know each other.
Yep.
You know, they've had my back in a lot of situations. I've stayed with them. They've stayed with me. We've taken care of each other, you know, over the years. We've done a lot of things for each other we'll never forget. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, we had each other's backs.
They care about you more than a
like a person. If I were in a life-threatening situation,
they would step up for you.
They would help me out. Absolutely. So those are the people that I support. It's not a sponsorship thing by any means. I line their pockets if I can with money, and if not, I give them art, or I'll give them stuff that they can use to promote with their companies. You know what I mean? But as far as being sponsored, I'm not sponsored, and I don't believe in it. I don't feel like sponsorships validate the artist. Sponsorships or a product banner on your booth does not validate you. A Spike TV Ink Master logo on your banner does not validate you. None of that's validation at all. What validates is that you're putting out the best work that you possibly can. If you were focused dead on about your work, a lot of those things wouldn't even matter. It's in tattooing, the sponsorship system is very broken. You know, when you think of a sponsor for NASCAR or for the NBA or for the MLB or for anything else like that, the person that is being sponsored is being, you know, considerably taken care of financially because they're walking and talking and doing all this promotion for the said company. If people realized how much money gets made off of some of these artists that shout out these products versus the amount of actual physical product that they're only paid in, or maybe a booth fee, a booth here and there when they can make it. You know, they make 2 conventions a year, right?
Yep.
A booth is about $600 to $900 per convention.
Yeah, about that.
So about $2,000.
Yeah.
About $2,000 gets made for that guy could save, or guy or gal. I mean, I'm not gender binding anything.
Nope,
guys
no,
is pangender.
Yep.
But that guy can make or save $2,000 that year, right?
Yeah.
And then say if he uses 2 full sets of ink, it's about $700. So let's round it up to $3,000. Just be ginger about it. That $3,000 that one said very well-known artist makes or saves from being sponsored, I guarantee you that's only a very small fraction of how much ink is actually being sold because that person is shouting it out every single day. Because some people go, this person tattoos like this, and if I buy that ink set, or if I buy that, I'm going to tattoo just like that. Yeah. And I did not realize how big the tattoo industry is until I visited some of these supply companies' warehouses. They're massive, and it made me sit back and go, "There's this many tattooers in America, and America alone. That's enough to supply all this. Wow." And it makes you realize, like, you know, it's not what people think it is. Nothing is all what it seems. So in that regard, in understanding a lot of that, I just chose to not do that, you know. I'd rather just push my art on my terms, use products that I like. I don't want to feel guilty that I feel like I want to put my colas away for a little while and you go use another rotary of whatever company is making.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel bad or guilty that a brand new set of ink comes out from some other company. I completely love the hues of it, and I want to try it in my pieces, and if they heal good and continue to use it, I don't want to feel like I'm cheating on somebody. It doesn't make sense to me.
That makes sense.
Especially for somebody that's doing nothing but just giving me free ink. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I agree.
It just distorts the purpose for a lot of, especially these younger tattooers. I don't want to set the precedence, or I don't want to promote the behavior, rather, of young tattooers coming in and feeling like that is the benchmark. That is where we gotta hit to like make it in tattooing, because it's not. Because that's promoting all these kids just grabbing at whatever free products they can get, you know, and they're gonna catch that one batch of ink that gives somebody skin tuberculosis or some shit, you know what I mean? But like, you know, it's really odd. I don't like that, and I don't think that's conducive to the future of tattooing as an art form. You know, that's the bigger picture as far as I'm concerned.